Oh, all right, I'm back. I don't know. Let me see. I might be back. Well, that was fun while it lasted, boys. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me now? I feel like I ought to come back after that. I was like, where did everybody go? See, someone told me it was safe to watch things, and now I can't, I watch something, and then I get struck down. That's cool. Let's see. What happened here? Oh, boy. What did I get a policy violation for? That's lame. I might have to get a request or something. Kyle. What'd you do, Kyle? Welcome back in, guys. Hey, just like the stream. I'm going to go for, because of that, I'm going to go for another like 30 minutes to an hour, okay? We're going to extend the stream a little bit. And we're very close. We're almost to 800 subscribers. So just click that like, subscribe, notification bell. Let's get the stream back up to where it was before. I don't know what happened, who did it, but I'm still looking at it real quick. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy. What was it? I thought you could watch stuff like that. I'm looking. Hold on. Let's see. I don't know. I'll look at it later. No big deal. Let's just keep it going. Hey, new stream. Let's go. I'll have to look on Twitch and see. But guys, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Let's get the stream going. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. We had a good we had a good stream going, and then it just like went kaput. So make sure you hit that like button. We will not cover, for sake of it possibly being the video, I won't cover it again. We might have to peruse through Twitter a little bit to kind of talk about it. Trump suspended tariffs because he's just lighting that fire in Mexico and Canada. Yeah. No. Well, I don't know if say no need. I don't know if you're trying to say that like Donald Trump got rid of tariffs because he wanted to, somehow, man, this really bothers me. I don't know how I got these. That's so wild. I don't see any kind of claims or anything. Crazy. Anyways, no, the tariffs on Mexico, he folded. He saw that Mexico wasn't playing around and gave tariffs right back to Mexico and decided to cave. Donald Trump caved. Make no mistake. Every single time that Canada or Mexico says we're going to put tariffs back on you, Donald Trump goes, oh, snap, I need to run. So I don't know what happened in that video, and I don't see any kind of strike or anything on that video. It's so odd to me. I don't see a strike or nothing, but whatever. All good. We're going to continue. You do realize that if it starts at 400K, 90%, when you make 1 million, it's over 50%. Yeah. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Hey, if y'all are coming in here, please hit that like button. Let's get us back up. We're at like 200 viewers, and then the stream went and farted. It went down. Let's go through Twitter, I guess, because, we can't watch videos apparently on YouTube and comment on them. Maybe I let it play a little too long without commentating on it. That could be it too. I don't know. To me, it's fair use, but whatever. What do we have here? Oh, we have Russell Vout. We're going to use all of our executive tools to make those savings permanent. We can use rescissions the president ran on impoundment. Ooh. Breaking law withhold vital funding for programs enacted by Congress. This means funding for our schools and kids, women's shelters, housing, and veteran programs. Here's a good one here. I'll go to my solo web source here. Look at this. Republicans hit one of the strongest stock markets in history. In 1 month, they messed it all up. Look at this. Look at this decline, y'all. All the way down. That is crazy to see that. And what was it at? This is only in February. You can look here at February 10th. It was up to right about 62, and it's down to 56. Good job. So much winning, right? So much winning. With the stock market just crashing. Oh, yeah, that's not a tariff thing. It's totally not. The market doesn't, the market likes certainty, but, right? Oh, my gosh. Oh, probably shouldn't show that one. Has the nerve to call Mark Kelly a traitor. Elon, you better keep hiding behind those bags of money because we know in America who really stands up for people, and that's Mark Kelly. Let's see here. I feel like I should send an email to Elon Musk asking him the 5 things. Kind of react here. Biden increased the stock market 48%. Yeah, Dan, that's the crazy thing too about it. I think under Joe Biden, we saw something like record. Oh man, this will be good. We'll watch this one here in a second. That's the crazy thing about it is like Joe Biden saw like 32, 34 record highs. It was something in the 30s over the course of 2024. Trump gets what he wants, tariffs or not. Anyone in here knows someone that Texas Repo? Oh, Texas Repo, you're back. I didn't see you in the chat earlier. Was it you? Was it you who took down our stream last time? No, Trump didn't get what he wanted. This idea, like when you look at Canada ended up getting like barely anything. Canada ended up having like a $150 billion deal that they ended up like getting rid of. Or sorry, $150 billion deal that they were already going to do in December. They announced they were going to do it in December. And so when Trump did that, they tried to make it sound as if he actually got like something crazy, but he didn't. So, there's that. What's the saying? Insanity is voting Republican again and again and expecting different results. Yeah, let's watch this. This is actually really interesting. Watch this. Hopefully, this doesn't strike me.
Repeatedly on the campaign trail, Trump warned a Democratic victory would lead to a decline in markets.
Watch this.
If Harris wins this election, you will quickly have a Kamala economic crash. You're going to have a crash. If we lose, you're going to have a crash like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, you'll.
Donald Trump is just proving how you made the wrong decision, MAGA. MAGA, you voted the wrong way. You could have had Kamala, could have had a economic boom, but instead we had an economic boom the completely other way. Right? Cue the courier music. Absolutely. Tariffs aren't responsible for the growth scare. It was impacted by prior inflation and stunted growth. Kyle, this is totally wrong. This is just totally wrong. You can look at, for example, let me pull up the CPI numbers year over year. Here you go. Love to show this chart. It's a beautiful chart, as Trump would say. A beautiful, beautiful chart. Let me show this to you. Watch this. Watch this. Okay, so here's Joe Biden's peak, right? He managed to reel in Joe Biden single-handedly managed to bring it in from 8.6% to the end of his presidency right about here, 2.7%. 2.7%. Now, of course, it's still 1 month. This goes, year over year. So it's going to take a little bit for this to kind of reflect, but you can already see January was 3%. So it's already going up under Donald Trump. But Joe Biden managed to reel us in. Look at that peak of 9% down to 2.7%. Joe Biden did a pretty good job. All Trump had to do was just keep the momentum going. But, Trump doing what Trump does best, decided to implement tariffs, and the uncertainty caused a mass chaos. And now we're seeing that reflected in the stock market. What she would have been a bigger loser than Biden. Robert Wise, you clearly don't know what you're talking about. If the idea is that this is the weird thing about it, right? Is that MAGA would sit there and say that Joe Biden was a bumbling fool who was drooling and had people working for him. If that's the case, then anybody would have been a better pick than Joe Biden. But you're saying Kamala would have been worse than Joe Biden? That makes no sense. Yes, it's been a month and it'll take a little bit longer to prove you wrong. Oh, okay. Take a little bit longer to prove you wrong. Gotcha. Hey, by the way, guys, let's hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. We are up to 10 likes right now. We got 110 people in here. Let's get that going up there a little bit. I want to try to get us up to, we're at 800 subscribers. Let's go. 800. We are on the path to 1,000 subscribers. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Still trying to figure out what's going on with that last stream. I don't see any kind of like copyright strike or anything on it. So I don't know what happened to it. It just got nuked. So, I mean, sometimes it happens. Video. Oh, there's the copyright right there. Okay. It says Okay. It has no impact on my video. So I guess it's still up there. So you guys can still watch it. It's interesting though. It's not a copyright strike. And it was because I was watching that video. So next time we're not going to be watching any of the videos. Lesson learned. What are you going to do for 800 subs reach? I don't know, John. Yo, so I'm thinking this. If we can hit 1,000 subscribers, we will plan some kind of a long stream. It would have to be on the weekend because I do work 9 to 5 and I come home. Quite frankly, I'm even way past my bedtime right now. But once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do like a big old subathon stream or something like that. So it's very important, guys. We're doing really great. We've had phenomenal views. So again, real quick, Retron, if you're in the chat, it was because of a copyright deal. So, what do you want me to do for 800 subs? What would you like? You the subscribers. What would you want me to do? You tell me what you want me to do for 800 subs. Well, not everything. Listen. Don't tell me everything. Listen, I'm not going to shave my head or nothing. It's only 800 subscribers. We need 1,000. 1,000 is the big mile marker. I appreciate every single one of you guys that got us to 800 subscribers. Look, I came back online. I didn't have to go back online. I came back online. Just keep playing them at 1.2 speed. Well, that's what I was doing, Hubert, but it didn't work. It's all good. We're not going to keep playing it. I'd rather not risk it. John Joe. No. Never done that before in my life. I read your DM, Tron. Like I said, it was a copyright thing. Explain how great we're doing. Where's American Patriot in here? I saw American Patriot saying, oh, here it is, American Patriot. What's going on, buddy? Yeah, this is just a diss Trump stream, even though Trump's already started to make America great again. Donald Trump has done nothing but make America an embarrassment. Okay? An embarrassment on the world stage. In fact, I believe that we're going to see Donald Trump have one of the worst presidencies in United States history. That's what I believe we're going to see. So yeah. And again, I want to play this one more time. I want to play this one more time for everybody in the back about Donald Trump, because I love this clip from earlier, in case anybody's just tuning in.
I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one. We will rapidly defeat inflation. And I went on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost, who uses the word? I started using the word.
So yeah, Donald Trump is going to bring down groceries prices on day one, right, guys? Remember that? Yeah. Nobody remembers that, right? I love it. What's this? The only people that should be losing sleep right now are the Democrat Party. It's the Nancy Pelosi's who we're looking at. It's the Liz Cheney's, Pocahontas. We're looking at all this stuff, and we're going to find out why you're so rich on government money. Alina Habba doesn't even know. There is a reason why this is crazy to me. Alina Habba, how? I know they can't be this dense. Reread that sentence. We're looking at all that stuff, and we're going to find out why you're so rich on government money. What about Elon Musk? Elon Musk is sitting in the White House right now. How much money has he made from government money? This is absurd. I believe the worst presidency in America was Biden. Biden was one of the, I'll be honest with you. Listen, you may not like Biden, but he did a hell of a job reeling in the economy. It could have been an absolute disaster, but he did an amazing job reeling in inflation. So again, I think it was really, really phenomenal. We don't see that very often. Biden was trash. Biden was not trash. Biden was amazing. It's not, I'm definitely against slavery, but if you're bringing home over $4 million a year, you aren't. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Steven. Been waiting for trickle down for 40 years. Right, True Tabs. Right? Eventually it's going to happen. Eventually it'll happen, right? No, he didn't do better than Clinton balanced the budget. Clinton did balance the budget, I think. You're right, J-Bad. Biden created jobs, not firing everyone and then calling them back. Created jobs, not firing everyone and then calling them back. What do you mean? Created jobs, not firing everyone and then calling them back. How do you not fire them and call them back? I'm a little confused on that one. Gas got too expensive, dude. American Patriot. We can look at the average. Let's look at the average price of gasoline. Average gas prices, St. Louis Fed. It was actually Donald Trump that had managed to do a pretty good one. U.S. regular conventional, once again, Same thing. It kind of follows with inflation, to be honest with you. And again, I think if we look here, pull this up real quick. So you can look right here. We were up to, at peak in 2022, $4.79. Now keep in mind, up to this point, OPEC deal was still in place. Donald Trump's OPEC deal was directly linked to this. Look at this. This is all because of Donald Trump's OPEC deal. And now look, it came back down to $3. It's still kind of high, granted, but it's gone down pretty significantly. And if you want to look at oil production, it's even better. Let me look at oil production. I think it's under EPA, maybe? EIPA, maybe? Let's see. I think it's EIPA. Crude oil production. I got to provide the facts for you guys. You know, the MAGA that don't like to look at actual facts. Because I know facts don't care about your feelings. This isn't really the one I'm looking for. Crude oil production. There's usually a chart. I can't find the chart. MAGA likes the charts. I'll tell you what. You think 2 executive orders is a good thing? You think more executive... Yeah, I think that's the crazy thing too, is like everybody's touting how successful Trump has been. All Trump has done is sign executive orders. Donald Trump hasn't done anything meaningful. He hasn't signed any meaningful substantive like legislation or anything like that. Vince, why are you responding more to Trumpers? I can't see you, Frank. Where you at? Let me see. I was looking at some facts. I was just kind of looking over here. Steven, sum it up. What do you think it is? Slavery? Fact, he walked into 2 wars. What are you talking about, Anthony? The fact that Donald Trump... Well, the funny thing about it is... Well, not funny. Is that he's walked into 2 wars. The thing about it is that he terribly... The negotiation for the Ukrainian peace deal is not going to happen at this point. It may happen. I know Zelensky's like, yo, look, I just want this to end. Russia especially wants this to end. So it may happen, but we'll see. But what we saw was an embarrassment when Zelensky was in the Oval Office with J.D. Vance and Trump, and they surrounded him. It was embarrassment. It was all about ego. Why do they claim different? There are 2. Did he... If you're into facts, looking at Biden's first executive orders... So I looked into a few of those, but there was nothing more terrible than the OPEC deal, which ended up cutting supply to drive up prices. So, do you think a high marginal tax rate is the pipeline screwed? The pipeline screwed the middle class over thanks to Sleepy Joe. The pipeline wasn't even in effect during Joe Biden's presidency. Like the entire time. I don't even think it was under, I believe it was not even still going during Trump's administration. So that had very little to do with anything. There was very little, if any, jobs that were ever created from that. Russia does not want it to end. They get more land the longer it goes. Well, the problem is that Trump's just going to try to hand them land. That's what he's going to try to do. Trump doesn't want peace. He wants a peace. Yeah, that's the thing is Trump, look at the whole mineral deal, right? Trump wants to try to get some, and even though the mineral deal was proposed by Zelensky, but again, I think Zelensky knows what Trump wants, right? This whole idea that Trump wanted like these rare earth minerals, whatever, metals from Greenland. That's the Trump MO. Trump loves like, rare earth minerals. He loves the name of it. It sounds interesting. He probably doesn't even know what it is. Under Biden would produce more oil and gas than at any point in history. Exactly, Dan Fries. I'm trying to find it. There's a chart. I just can't find the chart. It was for EIA. But I can't find the darn chart. Let me see here. I think this might be it, actually. There it is. All right, MAGA. You ready for some cold, hard facts? Ready for some facts, boys? Hold on. I'm trying to get pulled up here. You can barely see it, but it's there. All right, here we go. U.S. field production of crude oil. Here was when Donald Trump left. Donald Trump left here. And look at this. All the way up here. So, yep. Joe Biden produced more crude oil, and I believe we also became a net exporter of oil for the first time in a while. So, yeah. Good job, Joe Biden. You're out of your minds, disrespect to the Oval Office and the president. You take Z's side. God forbid you look out for America. No. Joe Biden, J.D. Vance and Donald Trump absolutely went after Zelensky for no reason. Like, just no reason. Hey, by the way, guys, we have 148 people in here. Please hit that like button. We're probably going to be going for about an hour. Okay, we're at 20 minutes right now. So probably about a solid another like 40 minutes or so. But let's hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. How did he respect the Oval Office? He disrespected the Oval. Oh, you're talking. Okay, how did he? I got you. We became the net exporter under Trump's first presidency. First off, did we become an exporter? I know we became an exporter under Joe Biden of oil. Exports. See, exports versus imports. Oil by year. Maybe I could do by year. Should have something like that. Here we go. I think this chart does it pretty well. Here, let me show this one. Oh, this is 2020. This is 2022. Hold on. Find one from more recent. Doesn't really show the chart. I'm trying to find a chart. It's usually pretty nicer. But I know for a fact. So the United States has been a net exporter of petroleum since late 2019 when exports exceeding imports in 2023. With exports exceeding imports in 2023. Wait, the United States has been a net exporter of petroleum since late 2019 with exports exceeding imports in 2023. In 2023, the U.S. exported 10.15 million barrels per day and imported about 8 million barrels per day. So yeah, we were a net exporter. So yeah, that worked. But anyways, Democrats, nothing but power. Shut up. That's hilarious. I commend you for researching. Hey, Wendy, one of the things I like to do is I like to get my facts. One of the things you'll find me is I'm a little bit hyperbolic in the way I deliver my approach, but I like to provide facts. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go let my dog out. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Did he just ignore pre-2020 oil export-import data and say he's right? Wait, I'm aware that we were allegedly a net exporter in 2019, but we were also a net exporter in 2023. So, yeah. Steven, don't try to change the definition. I give you 5 chances. What are you talking about? Moving so slow on stage, always confused on where to walk. He was a newbie. Democrats claiming to do research are still not very intelligent. Brant, you can come back to me with some substantive arguments, and tell me which facts I'm wrong on. So far, I'm pretty right on a lot of things. Dow Jones is down 2,400 points since the beginning of 2025. Yeah, and that's the thing too. I'm just going to go to diversity. Is that again? I keep telling people this is like normally presidents who come in their first month inherit the previous president's policies. But there are certain times that they own all of it, right? So, for example, had Donald Trump not done the whole tariff thing, I would say that it's probably safe to assume that a majority of the stock market going crazy would be due in part to Joe Biden. But because Donald Trump decided to play this tariff game, a large portion of this is due in part to Donald Trump's policies, which means that Donald Trump is responsible for the terrible economy that we are in right now. So yeah, Trump and Elon Musk. Oh gosh, Hunter Biden's in here, guys. Watch out. Hey Hunter, how was that pardon? Yeah, Don owns this. This is on Donald Trump. Donald Trump could have just done the normal presidency, not gone to the far right extremes, not try to destroy the USMCA that he made himself. He didn't have to do that, but he did. He said it was the greatest deal at the time, and now he just doesn't like the deal. I said I used the English definition. I guess you made up your own, though. So fun with that. Only an idiot can believe in a dictator that promises peace and no wars on day one, then let him convince you of starting wars. Yeah, I think that's the funny thing, too, MC, is that, like, Donald Trump has already, like, kind of suggested that we would end up, he says he wants to make Canada the 51st state, take Denmark and the Panama Canal. How are you going to do that? Keep in mind, too, by the way, guys, is that he's already named cartels a terrorist group, which if he does that, what does that imply? Are you intending? Keep in mind, here's the funny thing about this. I want you guys to think about this. Donald Trump and the MAGA's perspective is that Russia was right to invade Ukraine because Ukraine was setting up the military at Russia's borders, right? That's the logic they use. Isn't Donald Trump sending the military down to Mexico's border? So would Mexico then, by that same logic, be right to invade the United States because of that? I mean, is that what's being suggested? Is that logic consistent? Or is it that y'all are just going to twist that a bit and say it's just not the same? Where he said he would take Canada or Greenland militarily. Here, I'll show you. I have no problem bringing the receipts. I don't say anything that I don't already have the receipt. Well, I have to pull it up here, but I'll show you. He said he would not rule out military use. Greenland, I think is what it was. Here you go. Pretty easy. That was easy. That was quick.
The world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion.
Watch this.
Can you tell us a little?
What was that? Let's go back a little bit. Hold on.
World that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion.
No.
And can you tell us a little bit about what you?
So there you go. Donald Trump saying that he would not rule out military force. So there you go. What was that? It's so easy to debunk these things, guys. Listen, the funny thing about this is that it's so easy to debunk MAGA. Guys, if you want to debate MAGA, just simply Google. It's that simple. Majority of the claims that they make, they've not even researched themselves. And it's laughable. Trump answer, Stephen, no, removing military protections is not using the military to take it. He literally, the reporter asked if he was going to rule out using military force to take Greenland. What? What are you talking about, Bob? We built the canal. It's not an invasion. Oh, we built the canal. By the way, the canal was handed over to Panama in like the 90s. So yeah, that canal is not ours. That is Panama's. And Panama has said they will keep it, by the way. So yeah, go ahead. Use the military to take over Panama. At this rate, I expect by the end of this, end of Trump's term, we are going to be in some kind of foreign conflict. We will have some kind of foreign conflict by the end of Trump's presidency. That's my early prediction. We'll see if I'm right. Doesn't matter. We still built it. LOL. No, it kind of does matter if, no, it kind of does matter if Panama has control over the Panama Canal and they refuse to give that control back over. And then we force them. How are we going to force them? Economically? Maybe. But what if they say, hey, we're going to bear it. We're going to bear it. Then what? You going to use the military? Okay. Real smooth. No foreign wars, guys. I think Trump is too beta to go for real. I don't know. I think Trump is trying to use the whole talk big or whatever. Use the big stick or whatever. They only have control of conditions. What are those conditions mean, Arbor? I don't know what you're talking about. I know that they've gotten control, but I don't know what the conditions of that control are. From my understanding, the Panama has full control over it. Have you seen the U.S. Is in a recession of 0.4% and inflation up to 3.6% according to market predictions? I wouldn't be surprised about that, Harry Brandon. Like I said, if the first quarter is ending, actually. So, yeah, it'll be really interesting because we'll be getting first quarter GDP results next month, I believe. So we'll be finding out whether or not our GDP growth is going down. And if it's going down, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Because remember, MAGA uses this colloquial definition of 2 periods of negative GDP growth. Watch how quickly, mark my words, MAGA will change their definition. They will not use 2 periods of negative GDP growth, or they will say that the 2 periods of negative GDP growth are the deep state fudging the numbers. Or it'll be that it's Joe Biden. They'll somehow blame Joe Biden. It might be all three. It might be all three. This is because employment expectations weren't filled for years. What are you referring to, Kyle? I believe we had like some of the highest unemployment, or one of the lowest unemployment numbers for a while under Joe Biden. I think unemployment went consistently down. Let me look that up again. Unemployment, Joe Biden. I have to refresh my memory on some of this. Fact check, Econo fact check. This is July 9th. Did U.S. unemployment fall to the lowest rate in 50 years under Biden? Yes. The unemployment rate was 3.4% in January and April 2023, the lowest in 50 years. Here, you want to see the facts? Let's check the facts. Look at this. What does it say? What is that, MAGA? Can you read that? What was that? What was that? Last time the unemployment rate in the U.S. was this low was in the first 5 months of 1969. What was that about Joe Biden and the terrible economy? Interesting how that works, huh? Let me guess. They had to revise the numbers. That's going to be the argument? Yeah. Well, Donald Trump revised the numbers in 2019. So, sounds good, doesn't it? Don't you love it when you can bring facts? Was that unemployment? There it is, Bob on time. Was that low unemployment before or after it was adjusted? Well, let's take a look at 2019. Trump, BLS, unemployment adjustment. They do these every year. These adjustments happen every year. It's not new. It's not them fudging the numbers. Let's see. Look at this. Every year, each year, the Bureau of here, I'll pull this one up. This is from the factcheck.org. Pull this one up. Trump calls a routine revision of job numbers a lie. Each year, the Bureau of Labor Statistics revises monthly employment figures, which come from a survey of employers based on more comprehensive data attained later from state filings. But former President Donald Trump called this year's revision a total lie, basically claiming that Harris Biden administration has been caught fraudulently manipulating job statistics. There's no evidence for such claims, and the Trump campaign hasn't provided any. How many more fact checks, guys? I'm on a rapid, just one after the other, and because I'm doing that, I'm doing all that work for you guys. Hit that like button. And have you seen the stock market crashing and booming because of Trump's incoherent policies? Yeah, it's absolutely crashing. That Pitbull line, if you've paid any attention, then you would already know it to be fact. If you listen to things Trump says, then you will never have any clue what reality is. Exactly, KR. Exactly. Trump likes to provide and hope that the uneducated listen to him and not question anything he says, and don't actually do a modicum of research. I found these things, by the way, in like 2 seconds, guys. It takes 2 seconds to research this stuff. What is the criteria for measuring employment? If people are no longer looking for work, they will not show in the official numbers. So there's different forms of unemployment. I believe it's the U2? Not U2. There's one where, let me look it up. Hold on. There's two different metrics for unemployment. Unemployment metrics. U3 and U6. And I think U6, which provides a broader measure of labor underutilization by including those marginally attached to labor force and part-time workers who prefer full-time employment. Yeah. So there's different kinds of measurements. So you have to look at different ones of those. If you want to provide a different kind of measurement, be my guest. But anyways. His popularity is not dropping. Robert, that's just inherently incorrect. Let me provide that one for you too. That one's pretty easy to find. Let me pull that up real quick. I don't have it. But yeah, his disapproval has gone down. Actually, I do have it. Hold on. I can pull it up real quick. I think. Let me pull it up. It's a poll. Political polls. Here it is. Where is it? Have it up here. 1 second. Is it political polls? Might be a different polls. No, I think it's this one. Nope, this isn't it. I don't know. Disapproval's gone down quite a bit though. Or disapproval, his approval has gone down. I thought it was political polls, but I guess not. I think Nate Silver. Here it is. This is from Nate Silver. This is the one I found. Look at this. Disapproval, 48%. Approval, 47%. Donald Trump is no longer net approval. Not looking good. Joe Biden was way higher at this same time. I'll leave that up. Let that soak in. That's what I think. Just let that soak in a little bit. Let's open image in new tab. There we go. I like that. Let's leave it like that. I want MAGA to soak it in. I want them to, see that he's at a net disapproval. And again, the funny thing is that MAGA did love. It was actually kind of funny watching MAGA in the election. When a poll would favor them, they would scream from the rooftops, Nate Silver, yeah, Trump approval, Poly Market, yeah. And then when that poll tanked, they freaked out. They were like, no, this is fake. This isn't real. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Biden hid in the basement in 2020. Biden didn't hide in the basement. He was very much out there. You can probably find a whole bunch of press conferences. Hillary beat Trump. If not for the antiquated electoral college still left over for Republicans would never be elected. Yeah. Talent, a very simple definition, too simple. People making over $4 million a year. What does Rasmussen say? Actually, Rasmussen showed they were showing that he had a favorable, but they're also pretty Republican. They lean very heavily Republican. So that's like the Republican pollster. Like if you think Rasmussen, it's Republican pollster. If you think 538 is left, then Rasmussen is far right. Joe Biden didn't talk to the press for the longest stretch in presidential history. Google that one, Haas. Yeah, I'll look it up. Let's see. When did I bet I can find it. How many press appearances? Because you said he hid in the basement. Let's see. How many press appearances in 2020 Joe Biden? Yeah, Biden holds few. So yeah, he didn't do as many. No problem with that. Record lowest number. Yeah. But it doesn't mean he says Biden averaged over 200. Okay, so between 2021 and 2022, Biden averaged over 200 press briefings per year. So there you go. So he didn't hide in the basement. He made an appearance. He just didn't do as many appearances, which is fine. He didn't hide in the basement. I would say 200 press appearances is pretty good. Let's see. Let's see. Well, this one's saying, wait, was it 200? I thought it said 200. This one's saying 11 now. I don't know. What is it? Between 2021 and 2022, Biden, this is from allsides.com. Biden averaged on over 200 press briefings per year. That's on par with most of his predecessors dating back to Bill Clinton. Oh, okay. It's saying Biden White House averages over twice as many press briefings as Trump on average. But they're saying White House press briefings. The actual, it says exchange with reporters, more common under Trump and Biden presidencies on average. So Biden had 142 yearly average number of exchanges with reporters. So yeah, so what they're doing is they're breaking it down. So yeah, he didn't hide under the basement. He was very much out there. Trump has destroyed 80 years of foreign policy in 6 weeks. That has to be some sort of record. The worst thing. Yeah, Harry, I mean, this is exactly the big thing, right? Is Donald Trump has managed to absolutely ruin our presence on the world stage. It's pretty crazy. So, and it made an embarrassment, right? I mean, with all the, it's been a national embarrassment to see just, It's been a national embarrassment to see what he's done with Zelensky in the White House, right? In the Oval Office. End all foreign aid? No, I'd rather not. Thank you, Ernie, though. I like our soft power. I like being able to, use a little bit of money to go a long way. I think that speaks volumes. I like that idea. Did you really think Harris can stop a war? I think that there is a way to stop the war of negotiations, but I don't think it's giving in to Russia's demands. I think you bring both sides to the table and you try to be fair and you don't call Zelensky a dictator. That'd be a good start. And I also don't think that Kamala Harris would have wanted to level Gaza to, put put a new hotel in the middle of the Gaza Strip. But that's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in that, right? I do think Kamala Harris would have brought probably a little bit better, maybe not the ideal situation, sure, but would have been far better than what we have right now with Donald Trump. The war isn't over yet. Oh, it's true, too. It's not over yet. Yeah, it's still not over. Even though Donald Trump said he was going to end the war in Ukraine in day one. But we saw how well that worked out. Didn't work out too well, right? That's what Donald Trump said he was going to do. He said he was going to end it on day one, but he didn't. So much for that idea, right? Yeah, so much for that idea. Didn't really work out too well. Have you ever seen Ukraine live in Ukraine, who their president is? Yeah, so Jay, I don't know if you're referring to like Zelensky staying in power, but again, the way that Ukrainians' constitution works is that when they're under martial law, they cannot hold elections. And it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, when you look at the fact that Russia owns a massive amount of land still from Ukraine, if you look at the fact that a lot of Ukrainians are still not in Ukraine as of right now, how do you hold an election, right? How do you hold a fair election? For the party that claims they want fair elections, it doesn't seem like this would be a very fair election at all. So provide a solution, and I'll be happy to hear it out. But again, their constitution does not allow for it. And Zelensky did not declare martial law. It was the Ukrainian parliament. So Zelensky is one holy look what he's doing to his own male population, forcing him to fight kidnapping. Okay, the kidnapping them off the streets. I've seen like 2 videos, and I have not been able to confirm one way or the other what those videos were for. If they were in fact being kidnapped, quote unquote, off the street, it could be for draft evasion, which again, we had that in the United States. Draft dodging is illegal even here in the United States. Now, does that mean I don't know how that worked in the United States in the 60s, whether if you got arrested and then forced to serve after you were arrested. But yeah, draft dodging is a crime. So, and again, it's also funny because at the same time, you get upset about Ukraine allegedly doing this when we know for a fact Russia is doing the same thing. But you're okay with Russia doing it. We're okay with Russia doing it, right? Dude, you're clearly clueless and ignore. Oh, I appreciate that. Exactly, Turversitude. Russia is conscripting people too. It's the funniest thing to me when I see this too. MAGA tends to do this contradictory statements, and they never really have consistent principles. It's always kind of crazy. But yeah. What do you think of Trump cracking on about trade deficits while every world superpower in all the world history has always had trade deficits with literally everyone? Yeah, Harry, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I believe we have a very large trade deficit with Russia, but Trump's not picking on Russia. Why is he not picking on Russia? In fact, he's actually trying to lift sanctions on Russia, right? Trump wanted to pick fights with Canada and Mexico. Why? They're our closest neighbors, our closest allies. He created the USMCA, and now he's going back on it, saying it was a terrible deal. Who signed that deal? Trump, you did. MAGA is trained to only criticize Ukraine. Yeah, pretty much, Diversitude. Because he looks up to the. Yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing about like him, looking up to like say Putin or Kim Jong-un. Remember when he said he'd love to be a dictator? Yeah, remember that? He's raising sanctions on Russia. I saw he was lifting sanctions on Russia. I don't know where you see he's raising. Let me see. Trump to lift sanctions on Russia. This is from, let me pull up Reuters. Let's see. Okay, this is not going to allow me to do that. Okay, so I heard that he was going to lift, but now he's saying, okay, I'm getting conflicting reports. Because this one's saying Trump threatens to impose large-scale sanctions on Russia. Oh, God, I got my freaking ad blocker up. Give me a second. Pause on this site. Threatening to impose expanded large-scale sanctions and tariffs on Russia until it reaches a peace agreement with Ukraine. Reporting to All of Us Friday, however, Trump said, come on. Where is it? Based on the fact, this isn't it. Oh, here we go. Trump said the U.S. was doing well with Russia, and they was finding it more difficult, frankly, to deal with Ukraine. They don't have the cards Trump said of Kiev. In terms of getting a final settlement, it'd be easier dealing with Russia, which is surprising because they have all the problems and they're bombing the hell out of them right now. Asked if he thinks Russian Vladimir Putin is taking advantage of the U.S., Trump said he doesn't think so and feels the Russian leader wants to put an end to the war and reach a settlement. Trump said, I actually think he's doing what anybody else would do. I think he's hitting them harder than he's been hitting them, and I think probably anybody in that position would be doing that right now. So it's like one of those things where like he's saying he's going to put sanctions on them, which I don't know. When was this? When was this one? March 7th, so like 3 days ago, saying he was going to put sanctions on them. I've seen some reports saying that he was going to lift them. But then he's sitting there saying that Ukraine is the bad guy in this whole thing. It's pretty crazy, right? Bro, do some research instead of reading what you're reading on the internet. I mean, I'm sitting here saying that the article I'm reading says that Trump is imposing sanctions, which is to y'all's benefit. So I'm reading actual articles. You should probably do the same. America does not trade with Russia, so he can't put sanctions on them. He can't put sanctions on them. Then how did Joe Biden put sanctions on Russia? Yeah, tell me that. Unless you're talking about tariffs. Why don't you do the tariffs that Canada currently has on us? Some of the highest tariffs. Yes, I know they have on us. And yes, I know the 200% on dairy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Don't tell me that 200%, the best way to handle that is to do a trade war with Canada. If that's the case, maybe he should renegotiate the USMCA instead of trying to impose a blanket 25% tariff. Keep in mind, it's like one product, allegedly, that's like 200%. One product. And it's dairy. Dairy. Of all things, dairy. So again, you're like, oh, well, they do 200% on this one product, so we need to do 25% on all products. Yeah, that makes sense. What about when we do a 25% tariff on, let's say, I don't know, lumber, and then all of a sudden their tariff on lumber, I don't know what it is, but I'm just saying hypothetically, let's say it's like 10%. Well, that doesn't make much sense now, does it? No, not really. So again, it's hilarious, the two-dimensional thinking here. The comments are clearly coming from the kids who thought they was playing games with us the entire time. The controller was unplugged. It's hilarious. Trump says bad word. He says big, really big bad word. What's up, corn pop? How long will that negotiation take, and how much more obstruction could he expect to see in that time? If you're referring to, if you're talking about like the tariffs, I mean, it's probably gonna be back and forth for the next several months. Their tariff only applies to a certain amount that has never been reached. Exactly, Stephen. Well, I'm glad you provided clarity. I didn't look too much into it on the dairy tariff, but yeah, I mean that was not surprising, right? Is that the dairy tariff is probably, obviously, anytime MAGA raises a claim, it's probably a good idea to research it. But MAGA won't even do that themselves, right? They don't want to look into it themselves. So it's like kind of like a waste of time almost. Oh, man. What do we have here? Where are all the Doge arrests, all this fraud? Yeah, and this is the thing too, Songsword, is we still have not gotten solid receipts from Doge. We've got some receipts of like cancellations, but we've not actually gotten receipts of these contracts. All Doge is doing is hitting Control F and looking for DEI programs. Anything with the name diversity, equity, inclusion, and even some maybe accessibility. And even then, they're cutting leases. Some of these receipts are like laughable. One was an $8 billion mistake. There was an $8 billion error that actually turned out to be $8 million. So, yeah. Yeah, Dan, that's the other thing, too, is that, MAGA makes the argument that minimum wage increases, prices. Why doesn't tariff increase prices? Tariffs by nature are going to be passed down on the consumer. That's because Musk bought the president for $270 million, so he's working through the president. Right, Jacob. Well, that's the whole thing is that Elon Musk right now essentially works on behalf of the president, and he is in charge of Doge. Trump himself has said as such. The problem is that in court filings, his administration said that he is not in charge of Doge. So, creates a bit of a problem. You literally just said he was lifting them, not raising them. Now you're saying you were telling us he was raising them. Robert, there are reports out there. I can pull it up if you'd like. Let me pull it up here. This was 6 days ago. And this is from Times of India. But Times of India is saying is Trump to lift sanctions on Russia after blocking aid to Ukraine. So there's various reports about Trump lifting sanctions. So there's different ones. You just have to look at the different sources. So either weighing new sanctions, lifting sanctions, it doesn't seem like there's really coherent movement here. Convincing people that raising the minimum wage is bad for the economy is the most diabolical thing rich Americans have ever done. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, is like for me, when it comes to raising the minimum wage, I think we're long overdue for raising it. I do think that we need to raise it. I think raising the minimum wage, quite frankly, would be less dramatic than increasing tariffs, to be clear. But, thank you, Schmovements. Trump's cabinet is 100% different from his first. Oh, yeah, Schmovements. Dude, this cabinet now is dramatically different than the first term. First term, he had people that were at least halfway coherent and understood what was going on. This administration now, they're just yes men. And a lot of them are Trump's like personal lawyers, Trump's personal friends. So it's completely different. But yeah, I think raising the minimum wage, we have normally had a minimum wage increase like it used to be, Regina, thank you for that. There used to be increases to the minimum wage every like 5 to 10 years. We haven't had a minimum wage increase, I think, since 2008. So what, like 16 years, 17 years? It's been insane. And so we're long overdue for a minimum wage increase. However, to be clear, a lot of states have picked up that slack, right? A lot of states, like I think California and Texas even, have increased their minimum wage, their state minimum wage. So some states have picked up that slack, but it's long overdue to increase our federal minimum wage. And I tell people this, like, look, if you want to increase our tax base, there's an easy solution to decrease the deficit, but Republicans wouldn't like it. How about you provide a pathway to citizenship for undocumented workers? Undocumented workers can absolutely contribute to the tax base, which they already kind of do, right? They already kind of do that by either paying local state taxes via sales tax or property tax or whatever. But what if you were to have undocumented workers now be able to get Social Security numbers or whatever and pay into federal income taxes? And they would be beholden. Here's the crazy thing, right? Because they would now become legal citizens, theoretically, they could not be paid under the table, which means their wages would increase. Their taxes would now have to pay taxes, payroll taxes. Imagine, let's just assume, hypothetically, let's say, I think there's 8 million undocumented workers in the United States currently estimated. Imagine putting 8 million undocumented workers into the tax base. That is, just imagine what that would do. It would increase our revenue like nothing before. It's insane. Trump's new pathway, $5 million Trump gold card. Yeah, just some guy. The problem with that is that Joe Biden had that exact same visa program. And that visa program, basically, it was actually, Trump wants to increase it, I believe, to 10 million. Joe Biden had it at 5 million. It might be one of that. And Joe Biden, that visa program also had exceptions if you invested in certain businesses at $800,000. The problem is that when Trump increases that amount to $10 million, the idea behind that visa program is to boost businesses. If you increase it to $10 million, you're going to lose those people who would otherwise invest at $5 million. You see what I'm saying? So by increasing it to $10 million, you're going to lose investments into small businesses. So it's a really bad idea. We lose money on illegal immigrants at this point? No, we don't. We don't. The problem is people that use that statistic very often end up using statistics that just aren't true. So one of the things they'll do is they'll say, well, look, we pay out to them like 140 million and they put in 100 million. The problem with that number is they're taking all state benefits and lumping them in. The problem is I, as a Texas taxpayer, don't pay for the undocumented immigrant that's in California. Because again, if they're taking state benefits, right? California state benefits, I'm not paying for that California state benefit. Unless by some proxy I end up paying to the federal government and they pay to the California government by subsidies or something. But that's not how that works. I don't think they want to deport all the illegals because it would not be healthy. They just want to round up criminals. No, movements, you're completely wrong. I appreciate your nuance, but that's not how they view this. Tom Homan has already said as much, that if there is somebody who crossed the border, they're in violation of USC 1325, which is just simply, it's literally illegal entry. It's a misdemeanor, and it's like a ticketable offense. It's hysterical. But he thinks that's enough to deport somebody. And Trump has gone after DACA. Trump has gone after TPS status. He has also denaturalized U.S. citizens. So Trump is going after essentially everybody. I just heard a story today about allegedly, and I haven't looked too much into this one either, is allegedly a U.S. citizen got rounded up and they've not been able to get in communication with them. I believe it was a college student or something along those lines. Try to illegally immigrate to Mexico. What are you saying? Like cross the borders? I've actually looked at a lot of the EU's immigration policies. It mirrors the U.S. They have some kind of a form of essentially a illegal entry into that country, which is like essentially a misdemeanor in a bunch of EU countries. I have it up on my sources database, but I don't have it pulled up. Basically, it's a simple crime, and you can be deported just like in the United States. Very similar. People make this claim and they don't even know. Moon, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Appreciate this follow. Who do you think did a better job managing the world, the UK and France or the US? Managing the world, the UK and France or the US? Managing the world when? Like, if you're talking about Joe Biden, I would say probably the US. Right now, the US isn't doing too hot in terms of managing the world. Donald Trump's trying to do isolationist policies, which is hysterical. I want a Trump third term, homeboy. Well, you're going to have to do a constitutional amendment. Good luck on that. Which, by the way, there is a movement which is terrifying. MAGA's trying to, say that they don't want Trump to be a dictator, but yet they want him to serve a third term. The funny thing about that movement, MAGA is terrified of Obama. I forgot who it was, but they put in an amendment for Trump to serve a third term. But in the amendment, it says that if you've already served 2 consecutive terms, you can't serve for a third term. Who is the only presidents in the past 20 some odd years that have served 2 consecutive terms? Obama and Bush. Who do you think they're most afraid of? Obama. They don't want Obama to run again. It's hysterical to me. It's not a lie, BC. You can look it up. There's a movement right now, and they've already introduced. I keep wanting to say Justin Amash. That's not it. Andy Ogle. Andy Ogle already put forth an amendment, which is not going to get any ground. But dude, you are literally repeating lies you heard on TikTok. Dude, I'm literally not. Here, matter of fact, let's pull it up. Let's look up Andy Ogle's third term. Pull it up for you. It's real simple. There we go. Real simple. Y'all MAGA got to do easier. Look at this. Proposes amendment, 22nd Amendment to allow Trump to serve a third term. Good job. What was that? TikTok? Guy, isn't it still like the first 30 days or something? Yeah, guy. It's only the first 30 days and he's managed to completely upend our economy. Make America poor again. The fact that you think it's a lie is telling. Right. You all support the dude, but literally don't pay attention to anything he does. Yeah, exactly. Ugh, illegals are not the reason things are expensive, nor, DI, it's the rich people being greedy, pure and simple. Sure, absolutely. Yeah, Google more BS because everything on the internet is true. This is from Andy Ogle's own website. That's hysterical. Okay, and the U.S. turned up late to both wars, and the U.K. and France ran the world for 300 years. U.S. is a baby and can't claim some moral high ground. Yeah. We let in millions of illegals a year, and people wonder why rent is unaffordable, why there is a housing shortage and infrastructure failing. Yeah, I can tell you right now, it's nothing to do with the undocumented immigrants. My mom's coworker got picked up by ICE, and he's Austrian. No criminal record either. The people who come here illegally are screwing the rest of us. No, they're not. People coming here illegally are creating a better economy for us. They're providing jobs. They are contributing to our economy, whether you want to argue that they're, taking out more than they give. They are doing all that. But yeah. Well, look, guys, we are at 1 hour, and so far on this stream, we have managed to get over 42 likes And I believe we are at almost 830 something odd subscribers, I think, at this point. Yeah, they're working, Steve. I know you don't like that idea, but they're working. Okay, Z. Catch you later, bro. So we are at 825 subscribers. Let's go, guys. Let's go. So we got shut down on the first stream, but we are back. Guys, listen, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Awesome stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Last stream was awesome. Unfortunately, we had to reboot because of video. So learn my lesson there. But we will be back Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're on Twitch, please hit that follow button. I will be trying to post some more shorts and possibly YouTube videos. So keep an eye out for that. But absolutely, guys, excited for you. We're on a road trip. We're almost to 175 subscribers more. We'll reach 1,000. So look forward to seeing you guys